What's going on, everybody? It's Sherif and Joe back here
Up.
again for
Up.
some design conversation. What?
Hold on, give me just a. There we go.
Nice.
There we go.
Were you in 4K?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I figured.
No, I'm in what is that called? Active stabilization. The thing is that I don't like it.
Yeah.
It shrinks your image down and also it towards your face.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And which lens are you using right now?
11.
Yeah. It definitely will crop in pretty heavily.
Yep.
But, dude, like I was just showing you before this, I'll show like the live stream. I got my new stickers in.
Nice.
Looking super dope and hilarious. I love them. I absolutely love them. I think they're a laugh for sure.
No, it's hilarious actually.
What up, Crispy Critter? How you doing, brother? What up, El Cap Addict? Welcome to the stream. How you guys doing tonight? Yeah, dude. Aren't they sick? Dude, I can't wait to get you guys to get your hands on them. I think you'll love them. I think they're hilarious. Man. Dude.
That's cool.
What up, Cheeto Bandito? How you doing, brother? I know I owe you a message. Believe me, I'm catching up. I haven't forgotten about it. Actually, this guy has been sitting on my desk to remind me. Believe me. Just please be patient. But dude, I was telling Joe I got ruined on Monday. I may have had food poisoning or something, and I have been playing catch up hard between last night and today. So like Tuesday was a little bit of a wash. I kind of felt like I had a hangover most of the day, but it's nice to kind of feel back to normal and have some energy, for God's sakes.
we actually missed our routine meeting on Monday.
yeah, that's how bad. I mean,
yeah.
Like Joe knows I'm a stickler about making the meeting, and if I'm gonna miss it, I'll give him adequate notification. I was just gone.
No, you're dead.
yeah, literally, I was dead. Literally in the bed, just like, oh, make it stop.
I'm glad that you actually feel better.
Dude, I feel a heck of a lot better. So that's why I'm so animated today, man. Like, I actually feel like a real human being, which is nice. I got like decent sleep. I've got energy. It's a surprise. Go figure. And so enough about me. How have you been doing, Joe? Joe, by the way, you guys, has been working his butt off on some new projects that he's going to be able to share with you guys pretty soon. So
yeah,
how have you been doing, Joe?
Busy. I actually take a week off last week just to not touch this thing. This thing. this thing. Because I feel like we need fresh. Because me and my other, I mean, of course, Sherif knows him. Like me and other people, we wanted to create a new project, but then we are all like work very hard and stuff. And lately, man, it's just been like rushing through things.
Yeah.
Even the rushing through things doesn't really turn out great, but actually we have some stuff done. But again, when you rush through things, you don't really get to settle. You don't really get to get your brain reset. So that's why I told the guys, hey man, let's just take a break for this week. Because since we already have like 5 videos been done recorded.
Yeah.
All those videos is like, it's a long like video, like there's actual topic for the video. It's not like review or stuff. It's different topic, different purpose,
dude.
Which is tiring. But this week I just told him, hey guys, let's just take a break, and we have 4 people in the team. So they all like, yeah, let's do it. Let's just take a break. And then, of course, taking a break means not taking the camera, but we still go out and eat and having fun.
That's good, man. That's really good.
Like on Friday, actually, they came by, and then I just host a big meal, like steak and
nice,
like cigar and
how the steak turned out.
It turned out really good. I mean, I still use my old method. I tweak a little bit, and then it turned out really good. And all of them are surprised how good the steak is.
Hell yeah!
Because it's usually home cooked steak. They will have the the thinking of it's just home cooked.
Yeah,
but the steak actually turned out like professional. Feel.
Hell yeah!
Like they love it. I mean, as long as they love it, I'm happy.
Dude, that's awesome. Real quick before we continue, I want to say what's up to Pedro. Nice to see you, my dude. And Maddie in the house. What's going on? How you doing?
Guys? What's up?
Dude, speaking of cigars, Joe, I'm ready.
Oh my god!
Next time I see you.
Hell yeah!
So either you got to get your ass up here, or I got to get my ass down there. You know.
I think I need some break.
Yeah.
Drive.
Yes. Come on up. I'm ready for you, dude.
Oh man. That's not a good thing.
Steak, cigars, some nice drinks, some nice beer, you know.
Some nice wine and whiskey.
Oh yeah. Oh man, if I can get my hands on that wine, you know. Well, actually, I think I found it at my local grocery store. Yeah.
Nice. That wine is actually.
Yeah. It's expensive, but it's worth it, isn't it? Yeah. Dude, I love that you appreciate like the same wine as me. You know,
it's the kind of wine that I will keep on drinking because it's not strong and it's not because some wine when you first taste is there's a lot of flavor in it, but then after a while you got tired. Your taste is got tired, but that it's kind of just it's like ocean. Smooth and smooth wave and
100%, man. And that's the thing. Like I'm not much of a wine drinker, but the wines that I like, I'm very specific about.
With that cheese.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. See, that's my problem. Is I know like some of the good stuff, and I just like to have it too much. You know, give me that steak, give me that cheese,
really
give me
dangerous.
that wine. Yeah, exactly. Give me the cigars. You understand? Like, I've had one of these guys, right?
What is it? What's the brand?
Olivia or Oliva. Sorry.
Is there any is that the flavorful or what is it taste like?
So, Oliva has a bunch of different like series to them. These are the series G's, and also depending on the style of the cigar, it'll have like a different flavor profile, man. And these ones tend to be like creamy, smooth, buttery with like hints of like vanilla and roasted nuts. Really good. Oh, it's my favorite. It's like back when we were in art center, like maybe third or fourth term, me and a few upper termers started going to a cigar bar like every week, and this was my brand of choice, and we used to just sit and plan like how we were going to take over the world, start businesses, do all of this stuff. And even back then that's where some of the ideas for Mangana Steel like came from. Actually, it was just like, I want to do men's goods. I want to do men's
See,
stuff. You know,
when you smoke cigar and have good wines and good food and
yeah,
good environment, you tend to just slow down, like the time, and then just start talking and start chatting. And that's why I enjoyed cigar a lot, because in our society, everything is so busy. And so cigar is kind of like, even when you smoke like cigarette, it's very fast, but cigar kind of just slow you down, and then just have a chill night and just sit there and have
it's about enjoyment of that moment.
You know, and it's like what we usually say. You used to say, enjoy the moment. What it is.
Dude, actually, that's one of the things. Like, I'm now gonna go a little bit on the hunt for a nice whiskey or bourbon to complement the cigar.
I have some choice for you.
Okay. Yeah. Dude, because like Johnny Walker Black and stuff like that, or Lafroy, like it doesn't cut it for me. I hate Lafroy. But you know, you need something again, sort of like creamy, full body.
I recently had a chance to drink the higher end model of Hibiki.
Of which one?
Whiskey. Hibiki.
Okay. Yeah.
It's really smooth and very creamy, and it's not that strong. It's very dangerous.
Right? That's Japanese, right?
Yeah, Japanese.
Oh, man, the Japanese can do a badass whiskey, man.
And I can also, I mean, this is not beer or alcohol related topic, but channel. But I can also recommend a beer for you guys, right? Sherif knows exactly what I'm gonna talk about. If you guys like
the best,
if you guys like the Japanese brew beer that has a little bit of the flavor, with a little bit of fruit, or a little bit of that. What is that called? How do you explain it?
I don't know how to explain it other than it's possibly one of the easiest drinking, best tasting beers I've ever had in my life.
It's really good. And if Sherif can pull up a photo,
I'm going to actually.
No, that beer. It's a hunt for us.
Yeah.
The interesting story is that about that beer actually that I have experience in that beer is actually me and a few buddy of mine, and also a few buddy of Sherif. Sherif wasn't there. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one. This one is. I love it, and this one is probably the best beer I have drink.
Dude, it's perfect. You know. What up, Dopey? Well, perfect timing. We're talking about alcohol right now, Dopey. So you sipping on
there you go. Just take that.
Perfect.
Just take that.
But yeah, this is not easy to find.
No, it's not. You know, but if you guys have Total Wine up there in your area, like any of you have Total Wine around your area, go find it. They will probably have it.
I highly recommend it. If you can get your hands on it, it is.
And it's not. Amazing. They usually not come with box. They usually sell by bottle.
Yeah. Dude, it's not a bitter beer. So if you like bitter beers, this may not be for you. But man, it's awesome. It's
very smooth, but it's got an aftertaste. Like smooth aftertaste.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's incredible.
Okay, I want to tell you guys a story about this beer, how I found it. Actually, like me and a few of our buddy, we went to a Brazilian barbecue place around my house, and you know when you think of a Brazilian barbecue, you always think, I want to eat the meat, I want to get this and that to fill myself up. But then that Brazilian barbecue, it's not a good experience for us.
Oh, that's rare.
Yeah, it's not fogo de chao, so it's different Brazilian barbecue.
Okay.
So we're like, since it's not good experience, let's see what beer they have. And they have this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang,
And so,
okay.
so we are like, wait, we never seen this before. So every one of us just order one and then just start drinking. And then we were like, oh my god, that is really, really good taste beer. That's my first time drinking the beer. So throughout the experience of Brazilian barbecue, the beer is the highlight, which is not from Brazil.
Yeah, dude. This is hilarious, right?
And right after that, like that was like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, we actually go straight to Total Wine.
Oh, really?
At night, yeah, and just get like a whole box of Total Tokyo Wine.
Nice.
That's how I know that this beer is really good, because I have so much experience with it.
Dude, that's actually pretty sick.
It's
impressed
really funny,
you guys
right? Like
found it.
a Brazilian barbecue spot still
Right?
Japanese wine, and the Japanese wine is a winner. A Japanese beer is a winner.
Dude, it is. Like it's really funny. The Japanese really rarely do anything bad.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, you know.
If you think of the products that wrong you, it's very rare to see them, go into the wrong direction.
Oh yeah. Let me see. You know, one of the things though that I'm looking for, or not looking for, sorry. One of the things that I want to get, a buddy of mine by the name of Urban Woodsman, everybody here in the chat knows about him. He does a lot of woodworking, right? And he made these, and I really want to pick these up. I want to ask or like commission him to make some of these for us.
Nice.
Which is dope. You know, like it's basically, it looks like this when it's closed. So you have no idea, you know, it's real subtle, but he's got these magnets, you know, that he puts in it to keep it closed. And then when you open it, you have a place for your tumbler, you have a place for your cigar. It's a nice offset design, you know, and you just dump out the ash and clean it out. And dude, how classy is that? You just pull it out. You got a place for everything, you know, like this is something that should be sold, you know, like I've never seen a store sell that, you know, but I'd love to like talk with, you know, what would be actually really dope is to like license the design from him, get it manufactured, like mass manufactured, and then sell it as like men's lifestyle accessory.
You know what we should do? Just design it for him and then sell the design to him, and then just like what you say, like
yeah, dude.
And then he can manufacture it, and then we can get partial.
No, that's the thing. He's a one-man job, so it'd all be handmade. What I do is just, you know, freaking pay him. Say, okay, you've already done the design. Give us some like dimensions and sketches. We can 3D model it, send it over to an overseas manufacturer, get it mass made, and then sell it, and then just pay him. Yeah. You know. So like, dude, that's actually not a bad idea. I may talk to him about doing something like that. You know.
Or even just our own design as well. That would be pretty cool too.
Carco, what's going on, brother? Me and Carco were having a nice conversation earlier today. Nice to see you. Welcome. And dude, so funny talking about getting stuff made. Kind of continuing the discussion about sling bags and, you know, our sort of, you know, choice design topic to kind of talk to people or what we've been using as an example to relate our experience with design to all of you guys.
I mean, I have something to share after. So.
No. Why don't you go first? No, please go first.
No, I was talking to Sherif about the design that I'm working on, a brand and logo, right?
Yeah.
For my other channel, but then I got to the point where I am stuck with ideas. So I want to actually share with you guys, how do you get over the challenge and get over the obstacles where you got stuck.
Oh yeah, that's great.
So I can show you guys the contents first.
I will address that actually, Crispy. We'll get into that in a bit. Actually, let's listen to Joe's sort of advice on how you get over roadblocks in your design thinking, and then we'll get into like the sling bag stuff.
So this type of design thinking and this type of problem solving it actually works for every single design that you're trying to encounter.
Right? Yeah.
So in my case, is of course it's logo because I'm working on a logo for my own channel and for our channel. And so in the beginning, I started thinking of, okay, we have four different personality. How do we get all that together? So my original idea was to get all of us interest in common, which is getting beautiful shots, getting beautiful portraits, video recording, and get like cinematic movie, look and feel of the YouTube channel. That's where I got my first idea from, is to design a logo that fits that kind of situations where it's good for movies, it's good for YouTube, it's actually also good for our mood, which is trying to figure out what to record and what type of interesting content to record. So that's the first idea. But then after a while I got stuck, and the first idea that I came up with is this. So I actually use a lot of Chinese Mandarin character to design a logo. This character is actually in Chinese is actually photography, right? And so the reason why I use photography as a logo base is because all four of us love to pursue into photography, love to get beautiful shots. But then after a while, I start thinking it doesn't really fit like the whole picture of our channel. So then I got stuck for a few weeks. And Sherif knows I got stuck for quite a long time. And so just last week, I just started thinking, what should I do? Because it's in a state that I need to finish the logo as soon as possible because we are launching a channel. So I start going back to the drawing board and start thinking, okay, what's next? So then what I did actually was to get all that previous concept out of my mind. I don't think of them. I just actually thinking, okay, what's my mind right now? And what am I thinking right now? And that actually came out with this. This is the original ideas, where it's a mind map. It's like a messy minds thinking and start collecting data, start collecting ideas. And the three dot, it's kind of like, I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't have nothing to say, that kind of stuff. And the reason why this three dot is here is because whenever we discuss what are we recording, nobody has any answers. Nobody knows what to record. What's the topic for next week, which is very interesting if you think about it, because that's actually a moment where all of us in the same page. So I just say, hey, maybe it's a pretty interesting idea to draw it out like this.
Yeah.
And so this thing start getting different ideas. Like I start experiencing different style of messy mind in my brain. So it got a little bit crazier, and of course I start getting into combining the photography style of things to the logo, which turned out to be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys can see here. Like photography style, like landscaping and simplicity stuff. So what my point is, if you get stuck, don't get stuck. Think differently. Maybe sometimes you get different ideas, different outcomes, and different perspectives.
Sometimes trying the opposite of what you've been thinking, or maybe even sketching what you're frustrated about.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I sketch it out. I start thinking, why is it so stuck? Where do I miss? And that moment, I have that logo in my mind. Okay, this is what I'm feeling right now. So I just draw it out, and then I mean, it's still not perfect, but at least it gets you to a place where it's new.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the beauty of the process, is that like you need to sometimes look at something new, and then you may completely disregard it and go back to where you started, but at least you've stimulated your brain in a new direction. You know?
That's 100% right. Because sometimes it's actually it's not good to stick with your design for too long. If you got stuck. So recommendation for me is, if you got stuck, go out and then just go see something different, or go experience your life different.
Oh, absolutely.
And that way you can actually get your mindset back, and then you can actually have that image in your brain combined with whatever you're doing. And who knows, design is like this. Design A and B conjugate can become D or F or G.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't have to be A and B become C.
No, 100% right. And like, Dopey, here, like when you get stuck on a project and you jump onto another project, that's not a bad thing, right? Sometimes you need to shift gears. You need to change what you're looking at. The most important thing is still going back to that project, right? Like, you shouldn't just let it languish. Like, after a certain time, your brain does cool off on like the momentum. And that's the downside to ADD, right? Like, as somebody who has ADD and I want to do like a million things, right? You have to, what helps is narrowing down and say, okay, I'm going to allow myself to just do 3 things, right? Because it's the overwhelming number that usually overwhelms the brain. But like what Joe is saying, like, okay, Joe's got his filming project. He's working on this logo. He's working on another project, right? But he doesn't take on 50. He takes on a few, and then he'll step away. He may take a break like he just did this last week, right? Or when it comes to the logo design, he'll say, okay, what I've been doing, I've come to the end of what I can think of. I'm going to sit and try a completely different process to the same project, but he stays focused on that project, you know?
It's like you hit a dead end, and then you don't want to fight through the dead end. You want to go around it. So
exactly.
That's what I'm doing. I go around it. I go around it with different different base and different concept, but ultimately it's still the same logo, the same concept that I was working on.
Yeah,
it's still
it's another way of thinking about it is like you're on the dance floor, you look stupid while you're dancing, so you try another dance move, but you stay on the dance floor.
Yeah, exactly. But then ultimately, the logo is still for 4 of us.
Yeah.
Different personalities.
Yeah.
Different ideas. But then the metaphor here is to. It's just still 4 person conjugate with all their ideas, but the metaphor here is to. Why there's no ideas. Why there is nothing to think about, and that's the idea of the logo. It's why. What is so hard to think about? What's the topic for next week? That's the actual idea. Sometimes it's not really really hard to think of an actual logo or actual product that you wanted to pursue that goal. So what sometimes I will actually do is to take the elements of process of how I create the logo or how I feel in the moment, and then use that moment, use that feeling, and use that moment to create something. And that's usually go against the art, but that's why I love it, because you don't have a set mind. You just go around and around and around and around.
No, 100%. Neil McKenzie, welcome. How you doing? And no, I think that's like really, really great, actually, and I love that you share that with us, because like it's important. It's important. Like we all hit roadblocks in any sort of project that we're doing. It doesn't matter if it's physical, mental, or what have you, right? But finding a way to keep on track, but try a different approach, a new sort of perspective, right? Like when they throw around buzzwords where they say like think outside the box, this is what it is, right? Like you've been going down a certain pathway, and sometimes doing the opposite, or again using your emotion to come up with your idea, whatever, really is you've got to, it breaks you out of the box, it breaks you out of the norm, and then that's when the cool ideas come.
Usually that's where the cool things start to appear, because in your brain there's nothing set, there's no actual product, it's actually a lot of this. So we kind of just draw what you have in your brain, and sometimes you can get something cool from there.
Absolutely. Lauren, welcome.
What's up?
We have some actually great advice going on here in the chat for people with ADD, right? This I found to be very true, right? Doing the easiest tasks first sometimes is really good for ADD, because you get that dopamine release, and you get that dopamine release of saying like, oh, I accomplished something. And it's kind of like what Joe and I talk about, like the blank page theory, right? If you have a blank page, sometimes it's overwhelming to figure out what you're going to put on that page. But the second you put a line on the page, you've already started, So by doing the small tasks, you definitely can get over some of the hump. And like what Joe was talking about with projects, right? Like you'll get to that point where coming up with something new or different is difficult. So by maybe doing the opposite, like we were talking about, or taking a different mental approach to it, that's the same thing,
Sometimes go against your brain told you to do. It's actually really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're going backwards, and going backwards you will hit in your original ideas, and then
Yeah.
that will actually create a spark.
Yeah.
For your
Absolutely.
design.
Absolutely. And dude, yeah, exactly. Like breaking down tasks into sections or like segments, like, you know, or like again, like in terms of like a logo design. Okay, what are the elements that I'm trying to integrate into this? I want to hit this, I want to hit this, I want to hit this, I want to hit that, right?
And this type of stuff it's actually useful for every single type of design.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what Sherif was talking about is the criteria that we will talk about last week.
Yeah.
Like you want to hit a certain criteria of specific design, and using that criteria, you can create a roadmap. You can create a brainstorming section.
Yeah.
That brainstorming session can actually come out with something cool.
Yeah, absolutely. What up, Demonok? How you doing, brother? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Nice to see you, dude. Oh, dude, and Winchester. How you doing, brother? Thank you for even popping in. I absolutely appreciate you, dude. And yeah, this is a common issue, Dopey. The thing is, you need to find a way of filtering out what you think is viable versus not. And everybody can have a million and one ideas, right? But the ones that you can act on are the ones that are valuable.
The ones that you can actually produce, the ones that you can actually sue.
Yeah.
Let's say I have one logo design, I have a model I'm making, or I want to design a cell phone, I want to design a knife, or I want to design a computer. In all this case, what's the easiest? Of course, is the logo, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you kind of. So you actually have to prioritize things. Logo comes first, and then second one, whatever it is, a cell phone or whatever it is. Then you start to think. If you still wanted to do this, then you have to start to gather your mindset. Okay, who should I put it? What type of technology? What type of education should I pour in? Who should I pour into in order to produce this product?
Dude, that is actually a perfect transition point to talking about the sling bag and the bag project, right? So, just to what Joe was saying, right? If you guys have seen me on any of like Maddie and Stevie's lives, right, you'll hear me say on more than one occasion, I just need to make sure that this first project, the Kaimano, is a success. And then I can worry about the second thing or the third thing, right? But that doesn't stop me from thinking ahead to the future and seeing what is viable, right? And that's what I've been doing with this, bag project, right? So Joe and I have gone through the sort of process of like, okay, this is what is, kind of the features or considerations that we want. Remember our big mind map. And like last week, we were talking about, comparing it to other players in the marketplace and what they're doing effectively versus not, right? So this past week, and actually yesterday, I got to have a really good conversation with a buddy of mine who his career has been built on doing soft goods. And soft goods are anything like bags, backpacks, luggage, you name it, tactical vests, gear, plate carriers, magazine pouches, like you name it, anything within that space, this dude has worked on it. And he really shared with me some good insights as far as how this industry works. And so now, like Dopey, I have a lot of ideas. I'd love to do this bag or that bag and this thing and that thing, right? But talking to him proves whether or not my idea is viable or not, you know. And now, like, it's a project that I've opened up, but now I'll also know when I will be at a stage when it is doable based on the feedback from this guy, right? And that's where, you know, yeah, okay, this project may be put on hold, and I'll explain why, for the execution phase of it for a little while, but it'll still stay active because it is viable, it is doable, right? So in talking to my buddy, I kind of explained to him where things are and what Joe and I have been up to. And I'd love to have him online, you know, for a live with us. But he is recently engaged. I'm not sure if he is full blown married yet. But, you know, as with a lot of you guys understand, when you're, you know, newly betrothed, that it takes a lot of time from you, right?
That's why I don't get married.
Yeah.
No, they alone a girlfriend. Try to look for one though, but not now. Okay,
Yeah,
that's off topic.
But yeah, so what he shared with me is, you know, producing a bag is ultimately not that different from producing a knife, right? Like, you have certain manufacturers who can do the job, who have the ability and the skill sets, you know, available, you know. Hell yeah, Pedro. Single squad, hashtag. But what some of the challenges are is you need to find somebody who is skilled at transferring your idea into something that is manufacturable, right? So many of you guys may know Roman, right? Maddie and I have talked about Roman. Roman is a guy who I employ to do 3D modeling for me, right? Roman's an absolutely wonderful guy. Absolutely love the guy to death. And I lean on him, you know, because he helps me expedite the process of going from concept sketches and detailed sketches into a producible 3D model, right? And in the world of bag making, the number of people who actually know that skill set is very, very few and far between, right? And you can employ them to do a sample or two for you. But he was telling me a single sample, right, of, let's say, a bag just like this, right? This sling bag, this may cost upwards of like $1,000 for one, which is crazy, right? Like, that's real money, y'all. Like $1,000 for a one-off bag. Now, you may be able to find somebody who can do it for a few $100s. The question is whether or not that's something that you can hand over to a factory and they can actually like mass produce the thing, right? So that is issue number one, right? And so finding that person, right? That's challenge number one. Challenge number two is finding a factory who has the materials and can match the fit, finish, quality, and sort of execution. And the reality is, you know, just like we have here in the US, there are American companies who, if they can do it, they will usually just have their own product line, right? So why would they mess with you? It's like, a way I can explain this to the people in chat, right? It's like, we have Chris Reeves. Chris Reeves doesn't OEM anything for anybody else. If you have the tools and you have the capabilities, they'll just produce their own product.
Yeah.
And then if you want to send it overseas, let's say to like Taiwan, Vietnam, China, right? Then you have to deal with doing a volume order, you know? And the good ones are being employed by, let's say, Target, Walmart, etc., or some of these big brands. So they're dealing with order numbers of, let's say, 100,000 of these, right? That's why I can get the other bag, the one that I hate, which is on the floor right now because I like literally threw it off of my desk, right? And that one costs $50, right? Whereas this one, which is made in Los Angeles, right, in small batches, costs 165. You know, so there's volume, quantity, materials, all of that factor into the equation in very much the same way. Like that 165, like that is like paying for a $500 Chris Reeves because it's made here by skilled people employed here with, you know, our pay, wages, and everything, versus an overseas OEM that's cranking out 100,000 units, you know? So that's the issue, you know, really.
Ultimately, you just have to find the right person at the right time. At the right time is very important, because if you find the right person at the wrong time, it's not valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's one of those things that, like, the industry is not that different, and the principles of manufacturing seem to be the same, whether or not you're making, you know, a knife or you're making a bag, right? So that's an important lesson that I took away from my conversation with the guy, right? The issue is always you need prototyping costs. Prototyping costs are high, regardless of what you're doing, right? $1,000 for a bag is crazy, especially because you may find problems with it. And then you're going to say, oh, I want another prototype. So now you're going to drop another $1,000 for a bag, you know, because they're going to say, yeah, this is a completely different one than the last one I made you, right? So now you're already $2,000 in the hole, and you haven't even made a single dollar yet.
I can relate to that so bad.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because before I start doing YouTube and start doing stuff with you, Sherif, I was actually in. I don't know if I told them about this, but I was actually in a startup company that is designing car accessories.
Yeah.
Road rage. So, and all of us is very talented and very smart, of course, and a few of them are from our school too. Yeah. And so we were producing product that is way off our league back in the time, because we wanted to create an electronic device that has to do with software and hardware and firmware combined.
Yeah.
And that was back then when I was just a graduate. And so, like, by doing that kind of stuff, it burns a lot of money. And even though you were in crowdfunding platform that you successfully crowdfunded, you still need to burn a lot of money to produce your model.
Yeah, get prototypes.
Yeah, and just by that product alone, we actually have 10 prototypes in each and every single stage. A color prototype, a working dummy prototype, to prove the hinges and all that stuff is one prototype. And then a software and hardware prototype is another prototype. And then a combined with app is another prototype. And you actually have to buy stuff to create that kind of prototype, which is 3D model, and which is sometimes you have to send to Taiwan to create a different hinge that is specifically for our product. That's another money. So And you'll be surprised, even though we say prototype, no, we mean like fully functional model, but it's not up to the quality of mass production. And that is a prototype as well. And that prototype compared to other prototype is a few $100,000 or $10,000 more.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It's
bad.
Yeah.
So on paper, you are in prototype stage, but that alone cause you can burn your money, burn your company
very quickly.
Yep.
You can nuke a company so quickly.
And of course you can say, why don't you design it in the perfect stage first? No design is perfect. You need to design. You need to. It's on paper it's perfect, but when you create a prototype, especially like electronic device, like this alone, this will have go through another prototype stage to prove that every single thing that it's a proof of concept. So it's pain in the ass.
It is. It's serious, and that's where we really like struggle in even getting ideas off the ground, right? Like, you have an idea, okay, you can that it's valid, you have a market for it, you can design it. Even as us as designers, right, we're good at translating our ideas into something that is producible, right? But then it's the costs sometimes that take you to that next level of expense.
Like like when you think of a design from your design sketch to actual product, you're getting to that stage of, I think this will work. You'll create something beautiful. But then on paper it's all perfect. The fitment is perfect. The hinge is perfect. Everything's perfect. But then when you start creating your first prototype, even just a full prototype, you start to see a lot of ways that it's failed.
Yeah.
Even some those easiest, the hinge fail, or the hinge is not strong enough, or the color doesn't match, or stuff fall apart.
Yeah.
Or electronic doesn't go through, that kind of stuff. So you have to go through that and then go back to your drawing board again, and then go through that again, and then repeat it again and again until you get your first prototype done. And that's it. That's not it, actually. You have to create a second prototype from your first prototype and go back to a drawing, your sketch, and then see where you can improve, right? So it's that notion of back and forth discussion that we have been talking about, back and forth idea that we have been talking about.
No, absolutely. And that's, unfortunately, that's why things are not necessarily straightforward.
Yep.
You've got to go through the iterations, You
got to go through the struggle in order to get the result, to get the solution. Sometimes go through a struggle, it's actually better than what you expected.
Yeah, it's very true. And so with the bags, like, okay, I know that I need to be financially in a place where I can commit that kind of money and it's not going to negatively affect my business, and it's not negatively going to impact my ability to do the rest of the things that I want to do. Like right now, like I have another couple like prototypes that I want to get made, even just from the knives, and those are going to cost me, a couple of grand myself. So it's like, okay, well, this is the main focus of the business. I need to focus on this, but the bags can come, and like I need to kind of bide my time
But that does,
to get to the next
but
stage.
again, like what Sherif was saying, that doesn't mean you have to stop thinking about the
No,
project.
no,
Right?
yeah,
You can keep on thinking about the project, keep on designing the project until you feel like, okay, it's time. And during that iteration, you go through different stage of meeting new people, getting new projects in, and that mindset you can actually get out of by having a new knowledge from who you meet with during that time, or
yeah,
who you work with, or what you design during that time. You can actually use that knowledge and then put it into your design in the future, which is in this case we're talking about a sling bag or the bag.
yeah, yeah,
And that will actually make your design. I won't say it will. I won't say make your design much better, but it will actually make your design more valuable because you actually think through all this stage, and all these criterias, what works and what doesn't work, and then you have better ideas, better knowledge in the future.
Exactly, and that's the process. You know, sometimes like, okay, what you want to do right now isn't viable, you know, but you kind of like, you know, keep on working on it in the background, and then you just are at the right place, like Joe was saying earlier, the right place at the right time with the right people.
Yeah.
And you can execute, and you know,
I mean, of course you still have to work your ass off, but at least you got that group right there at the right time, right there. So you can pull it out as faster.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
actually work smarter, not faster.
yeah, that's a big one. You know, sometimes you don't need to rush.
Yeah.
You know, you need it's kind of like poker, right? You're not gonna move in on every hand you get. Sometimes you have to wait for the right hand, the right people to be in the pot, you know, and to you know, go for it. And that's when things pay off, you know. And having that patience and that sense of timing is a skill. Like it's genuinely a skill, you know.
Like a better example for me, what I was working on, what I was showing you guys was actually the logo that we are going to have for our new channel.
Yeah,
a new YouTube channel. But that channel, we have been stuck for the past few months because we can't find the right people at the right time. And just this past month, we actually find a great group of people that wants to work with us and wanted to use valuable content with us, which is awesome. And what say, hey, let's just pull the trigger, let's just do it.
Yeah, man. Now let's see. Let me catch up a little bit on the chat.
In the comment.
Let's see. Dude, Demonoc, just so you know, brother, like, I love you. You're a great dude, honestly. Yeah, like I agree with Dopey here, you know. Like, we all love you, we all appreciate you, believe it or not, brother. Yeah, exactly. Demonoc, don't listen to Demonoc.
So may I ask what's the issue here?
Dude, everybody's just a guy, you know, like, but we all have something to bring to the table, you know, and we all have good qualities and bad qualities. The key is just remember, you know, you're here for a reason and you're doing good shit, you know. So don't stress about it too much, man. Really, don't give yourself some credit, you know.
Well, everybody's here for reasons, right?
Very true. Very true.
And
Like,
you will. I don't know what exactly what you guys are talking about, but I assume it's from life and stuff like this, where he doesn't feel that he's a good place or something. I don't know, but my advice is to just look forward, and then you will eventually find your fit to whatever you're looking for. And
dude,
sometimes you will see that fit. Sometimes you can't see the fit from far away, but you have to pay attention to your surroundings, right? And get your eyes in it.
I'll tell you this, man. It's funny because to kind of keep this related to design, right? One of the things that really impacted me was when one of the really famous product designers, Yiz Behar, right, said that you should design your life, you know? And just with any design project, there are going to be designs that you don't like. There's going to be designs that you do like. There's going to be designs that are failures, you know? And there's going to be designs that are successes, right? But you are not defined by any one of those things. You're defined by the totality of those things, you know? And one of the things that's very difficult, like Maddie and I were talking about this, we recorded a video earlier today for Mental Health Mondays, right? But one of the things that we don't give ourselves enough credit for is the good things that we do and we create, you know?
Yeah. So true.
It's really easy for us to dwell on the negative. It's very easy, like society, even the way the human brain is wired, we sit here and we will think about, oh, well, you know, that sucked. I'm a piece of garbage because of that. Or, you know, like even me, my first business failed, you know, so I could sit here and say, oh yeah, well, shit, man, I'm a piece of garbage, and you know, I can't achieve anything, you know, and that can stop me from moving forward, right? But you also have to think about the things that you do good in this world, the positivity that you put out into this world, your successes and so forth, you know. And you'll realize if you take stock of that you know, you can do more and you can contribute and do more positivity out there over the course of your lifetime, right? Like Joe and I wouldn't think about doing new designs if we thought that our failures in design defined us. Right?
Yeah.
You know, really, like we would truly say, oh well, okay, I failed at this, I failed at that, I guess I'm just a piece of shit and I'm never going to do anything again. And you can't live like that.
I will never think of myself like that. Let alone all of us. We shouldn't think of ourselves like that, because every artist is born to be I wouldn't say great, but every artist is born to be express yourself, express your surroundings, express your mindset. It's actually a great way to get yourself out, express yourself. And that's why the logo was like that for me, because I failed the logo design process in that situation. But then I went back and started thinking of, okay, what is on my mind right now? That actually helped me a lot, because once I get that thing out of my mind, I start looking stuff differently. I start looking the person that I'm with differently, the person that inspired me to do that kind of design differently, the surroundings that inspire me in the moment differently. So actually, failure is not a failure. Failure is actually a road to success. I would say that.
Dude, that is actually a perfect way of saying it, because like, what was it like? How many? There's an old saying about failure. Like, how many patents are there on a light bulb?
Sherif, your internet is becoming wonky again.
Damn it!
Again, Sherif, again.
Yeah. Okay, how about this? Is this a little bit better?
A little bit better, but still a little bit wonky.
Okay, yeah, jeez. I don't know why this keeps doing this to me.
Maybe your Xbox is updating again.
You know what? That's a good one. I may boot it up and make sure that it's not doing.
Yeah, go fix it.
I will say this, right? Like,
I can't hear you. Can you guys hear him? No, we can't hear you. Nope, nothing. I can see your face, but your internet is freeze. Yeah, so don't think of failures as a failures. Think of failure as a mental reborn, and then you will see how you can get. You'll see in a bigger picture. The failure is not really a failure. The failure is sometimes a road to being successful again. At least that's how I see my project, and that's how I go about my project. Because whenever I hit a stone on the project, I usually just go around it. Don't go through it, because if you go through it, your brain is gonna broke again. But if you go around it with use different mindset and use different mindset and use different way of thinking, then you will find out you'll figure out a way to go about it. Sherif back?
can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can. Well, yeah, we can see you, we can hear you, but your image is very low resolution.
Man, I don't know why, because nothing is currently updating, which is strange.
And you're a bit slow too, as far
Really?
as the thinking goes. Yeah.
I have no idea why this is happening, you know?
Is it my side? Do you see me?
You're perfect for me,
Okay.
you know? So I don't know why. Yeah, it's nothing is running right now. Yeah, it's.
I mean, we can still hear you.
Yeah, I'm checking to see like my network connection, all of that stuff. You know, I have no explanation for this. I really don't. But it's annoying. It's annoying. We're just kind of like digging into some stuff.
No, it's okay. They know. They understand.
Yeah. How is it now? Is it improved?
It's a little bit better. It's a little better. Still a milliseconds behind.
Delay.
Yeah.
Dang it. I'm gonna have to call up my internet
Yeah,
company.
you should.
Yeah, because dude, my download speeds and upload speeds are nerfed really hard actually right now. I should have like 10 megabit and I'm getting like 200 some megabytes. So
At least we can see you a little bit better.
this pretty face.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, we can just.
Yeah.
So, well, where were you? Where were we talking about?
Man. Oh, by the way, okay, real quick, unrelated to design though. Demonoc, hockey fan. Who do you support? Choose wisely. Choose wisely.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Demonoc. Who do you support, brother?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I gotta know, man. I used to play, and I'm from Detroit, so yeah, I'm gonna feel strongly about hockey. Man. But dude, if my internet starts going all potato again, we'll probably wind it down.
Yeah, your
But
internet is good now. I can see.
yeah, I see that because I don't
Yeah.
have my little internet symbol up in the corner. It's strange because like the Xbox shouldn't be downloading because when I have it turned off, I have it set to completely turn off.
Like energy saving off.
Yeah. You know. Oh, now them's fighting words. Screw Detroit. I was gonna support you on the Blackhawks, man, but man, to say screw Detroit, oh, them's fighting words, brother. And let me think. Who was 90s? I want to remember who was on the Chicago roster for the Blackhawks in the 90s, because I think I trained actually with a Blackhawk player. I'm just having trouble remembering his name. Yeah, I can't remember his name. I'll have to look. It wasn't Roenick. It wasn't Larner. Chris Chelios. Man, are you a Chris Chelios fan? Because then we're really gonna have problems, man. Chelios, the dive master. Oh, dude. But anyways, I'll get back to that. But you and I, we should talk hockey at some point in time. You know. Yeah, Chris worked, but he worked on his knees on the ice. But anyways, I can talk shit about hockey for sure. And dude, so I don't know if we kind of helped you guys get some perspective on design and your projects, man. Like,
you guys have any questions, please don't feel.
Yeah.
Please ask. Yeah, please ask. We will do whatever we can to help you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody's got like a project or something that they're trying to get off the ground, you know? So sometimes having a little bit of perspective on how to approach it or how to kind of keep the project fresh.
Sometimes having a fresh eye isn't bad.
Yeah.
Throw your design out there and see what people think about, and then whether it's good or bad, it will help you. I mean, me and Sherif, we all go through this so many times.
Oof. Yeah.
And then during that time, we actually have a lot of bad critique from people.
Oh yeah.
But then those bad critique, we actually use it and then improve the design or improve ourselves.
Yeah, that's 100% true as well, right? Like learning how to get your teeth kicked in, you know, and told your ideas are shit, but how to take that, improve, and keep moving forward. And that's the skill, dude.
Yeah, and one last thing, actually, a friend of mine, just we were talking a few days ago. She was really she doesn't have confidence to talk in front of people, and she doesn't have confidence to show herself. And she asked me, how do I do it? I told her, you just have to be in the design field, even though you know your design is really bad, but you have to be very confident on your design.
Yeah.
So that you don't get beat on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, you need to prepare all those stuff like presentation boards and rehearsals and all that stuff. But most importantly is to know your design well and know that your design is not a bad design. Know that your design is actually a decent design and it's actually workable. And from that point on, wherever you talk to, wherever you're presenting to, or elevate the pitch, you'll get it right away.
Yeah. Yeah, and just because something isn't working, it doesn't mean you're not working.
Yeah.
It just means you need to kind of keep tweaking the damn thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Keep pushing.
Yeah.
Head down, keep pushing.
And that's all it is, you know? Yeah. Life is kind of like that in a way where you may not nail it on the first try, second try, third try, fourth try, but as long as you're still applying yourself and still, you know, confident you can get there, you'll get there.
And you'll be surprised. A lot of this can be your live lessons, like what Sherif was talking about earlier today about that designers design your life. That's the perfect conclusion. Design your life.
Yeah. Really, man. It's stupid little stuff like that. It doesn't seem like it would work, but it does. It does. Yeah. It's the easiest way for me to explain it. Like, take ownership of your situation, your life, keep applying yourself, you know, and you'll get there, you know, in a weird way.
If you really got stuck, just close the book, put your pen or pencil down, just go do something else.
And
come back later. And have a different hobby, different hobby will help too.
Dude.
Not to get your brain aside, but actually that different hobby, you might learn something from that different hobby and then you can apply it back.
Oh, absolutely.
At least that's what I do.
Dude, that's badass, bro. Like, nice. That's super awesome. I really, we should chat sometime, man. I'd love to hear some of your stories. I'm sure you got dope stories. All right, Pedro. So what's holding you back from doing it? What skills do you need? What sort of tools do you need in order to take it from a want to an action?
Yeah.
You know?
What is holding you back?
Yeah.
Because for us, I mean, we think about t-shirts a lot. We actually want to do it, but it's just the time is not right. For us, that's what is holding us back.
Yeah.
But for you, what's holding you back?
Yeah. So graphic design abilities you can learn. 100% you can learn. And there are amazing tools out there for them now, you know, as far as like things like Photoshop, Illustrator, there's YouTube tutorials, you name it, right? And I don't know if you're the type of person to have like an iPad, but there are even apps that you know, you can get out there and use, right? And it seems like you have a few designs that you do feel confident about, right?
stop thinking, just do it. That's
So
my best way to say, just stop thinking of wanting to do it, but just get your pen and pencil out and then start designing and just see where it goes.
So, and then, right, as far as like, you know, the equipment, you don't necessarily have to do your own printing, especially not getting started, right? Because the whatchamacallit, the equipment to actually do the printing is not cheap, right? So like I'm gonna drop a website in the chat right now, but they offer the ability. Joe and I were just looking at them to do custom printing, right? So check it out. Right, Pedro, check that out, right? nitoshop.com/custom. So if you have some graphic design, and look at what these guys offer as far as like the range and depth of their products, you know, if you have some dope idea and you want, they offer custom printing, and they'll even do just one for you, you know, and if you want. So here's a way to get started. There's also print on demand services, right? So like I know Stevie and Maddie, you know, use I think like Teespring, which is known as Spring right now. There's also a bunch of others. I'm not sure who Crispy Donut Community use, right? But these guys, Nito Shop, they're new to me, so I'm looking into them. But they're one of the only ones that will let you do, you know, a no minimum quantity order. But yeah, like hit them up, submit your design to them, get it executed, and you've got to start. You know, you'll learn what are the steps, what are the processes, what are the expenses involved, and that'll get you over the hump, right? And then you don't need to worry about the biggest challenge with the finances is you think you need to have all this money up front, right? You don't always need to, and that's the beauty of, for example, print on demand. You put your design on a shirt and you don't have to have upfront costs. You do sacrifice some profitability, you know, because you're paying them, they're going to take a percentage, obviously, right? In order to print your product on demand like that. But it's a way to get started. It's a way to get your name out there and your designs out there. So, bro, give it a shot. You know, that's all I can tell you. You know, there's nothing nowadays in today's world. There are many ways to kind of skin the cat, so to speak. You know, and you definitely have more options than you may know what to do with. You know, so definitely check it out. Definitely take a look at those websites and print on demand services. I think you'll be a little surprised to see what's out there for you, you know.
And my advice is, if you're questioning about your graphic design, let us know. We can help you. We can give you some advice. I mean, you got 2 designers here every single Wednesday.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Literally.
That knows design and love designing stuff and go through the design phase. I would say majority of you don't go through. We experienced for you already.
Yeah. And we will be tough on you, but we'll be tough on you for the benefit of you getting something that will be usable, you know, and will be viable, you know. So definitely we're here for that, though, you know. So Just throwing it out there. I don't know about you, Joe, but my chat has not updated. Oh, finally it has.
Now it's updated.
Yeah, dude. Design ideas that are offensive are not a problem. There's definitely a market for it.
Yeah.
There's definitely a market.
Believe it or not, we wanted to design some offensive stuff.
Oh yeah.
On our t-shirt too. So it's not only you, but in that stuff, in that criteria, you need to be. I would say you can do it, but you have to be very packaged in it, so that it's not that obvious. And once you can package that, and that package become a pretty very cool graphic, then you'll be good.
Yeah, let's just say I had a design idea for a Shinzo Abe tribute.
Yep. Hey, and we discussed a lot on that. We discussed a lot on that.
Yeah.
Abe, and it actually turned out, our idea actually turned out very cool.
Yeah.
It's not offensive, but cool.
Yeah, definitely. And even still, I have some like ideas for patches, and I guarantee you they're definitely not all going to be, inoffensive, woke stuff, know. So it's take the chance, bro. Really, that's the easiest way I can say it. Like, don't be afraid.
Go out there, and every artist should do, or designer should do. Just go out there and experience stuff. Because if you never experience through the process, you will never know what's capable and what's possible.
Yeah, definitely. And
most importantly, don't feel it's failures. Feel failures and succeed.
Yeah. That's something that I wanted to touch on just before my internet decided to go all potato on us. But yeah, like every failure in life is an opportunity to learn something on the pathway to success, right? And like earlier today, like Maddie and I were doing a recording with Patty's potato peelers, and Patty talked about a life of being an alcoholic and getting kicked out of the military and this and that, and like he's gotten to a point now where he has great family, great support system, good people around him. Doesn't mean that every single day is walking through the forest of happiness. Spoiler alerts, but he found a way to work and cope with the failures, and make something positive out of that, and that's something that we should all strive to do, especially as guys, right? Because like failures are so poorly tolerated in our society of men, for whatever reason. Sweet. I'll definitely check it out after the stream, bro. I'll definitely check it out. But yeah, failures are good. They will change you. They absolutely will, right? It's like it's how we're wired. It's like pain avoidance, right? Like the first time you put your hand into fire, you learn you don't put your hand into fire again. It rewires you, right?
Yeah.
And you have a failure, you do something shitty in life, it's gonna rewire you. That's a guarantee, right? Because you don't want to head back there. But at the same time, you know, like I try to take a positive outlook, just like Crispy does, right? That I can learn something, I can grow, and I can become a better person because of my failures, you know. And it's life is a struggle. Let's be real. Life is absolutely a struggle, you know. Patina, welcome, brother. Welcome. Good to see you, dude. You know. But yeah, like, dude, I will definitely say there's it's not about being courageous. It's just about pulling the trigger. Yeah. You know, sometimes just moving forward, regardless of what it is, because the courageousness comes because, or comes into the conversation because you think it's this big thing to like kind of move forward. It's not. Sometimes you need to like trip in the right direction, and it may not be the right way to do things, but that's what just gets you started, you know. So don't worry about being courageous, and don't be worried about making the right decision, you know. Just make a decision, and that moves you forward, you know, 100%. Like, yeah, dude. Dopey, how do I know this is true about you, man? Dopey always puts his hand back into the fire. But yeah, man, guys, like, if there's anything I could wish I could convince you all of, is that, you know, don't get down on yourselves. You know, like, none of us are perfect. None of us have it figured out. None of us are, you know, doing it right the first time. Just like Joe was talking about with his, you know, graphic design project at the beginning of this, you know. Sometimes you'll head down a pathway, you're going to come to an obstacle, and it doesn't mean that you suck. You know, you just need to.
You just have to think of it different.
Yeah, find a way to think of it differently. You know,
it's like if I go to Pasadena, there's car city in 210. What do? I just go around it, right?
Yeah.
I don't jump over it. I go around it, or I go on top of it, and then just solve everything.
Yeah,
from top to see a bigger picture.
Dude, and you know, also, if you get to a point where even getting around it is a difficult thing, find somebody to talk to about it.
Finding somebody to talk about your design is actually very, very important.
Yeah,
it will give you different ideas and different perspective.
Yeah, 100%. You know, so
because not every single one is created equal. So you will have different mindset on your design, and they will have different ideas on your design, and ultimately you can get good knowledge out of it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, it's, I guess for me, I would say, like, this is an interesting statement to me, right? Because I think comfort is a fallacy. You know, honestly, you know, like, I feel like we're sold this image and this idea that there's a certain point at which life becomes easy breezy, you know, like the movies. It's not. It never does. There's always a struggle at some point.
Comfort is a luxury in the society right now. Like, comfort, everyday comfort it's really hard to get.
It is, man.
The luxury, believe it or not.
yeah, and I think it's something that only exists for moments.
Yeah.
Not for long periods of time. Like, truly, you know. And just like Dopey is saying right here, man, like uncomfortable is the way of growth.
Yeah.
Like it really is, like it's funny. I was like talking about my day yesterday. Patina checked in with me and he was like asking me how I was doing, and I was feeling crappy because I was getting over how shitty I was feeling on Monday, and then the first half of the day, I got a bunch of messages from dudes, about the pre-order asking me when the product was going to ship. And I was like, bro, it's there on the website in red. It's a pre-order, right? Like we still have to raise the money to get there. And then it's still months away, and they were kind of like aggro about it. So I was like, oh, man, like I'm already feeling like crap, now these people are kind of like dogpiling with their stupid opinions and comments, right? And then next thing you know, next thing you know, Jim Skelton released his review of the Kaimano, and I had like 4 or 5 new sales. So it's like, and there is no comfort in the day, I'm starting to go down and down in the pits in the first half of the day, and then the second half of the day, I'm feeling a little bit better. It's like, and then I had to go to sleep, and I had to wake up and restart everything. It's like you get moments. You just get moments. Like there is no persistent joy. There's no persistent comfort. There's no persistent happiness. It's all things are evolving constantly, and it's when we fight that reality, I feel that we feel our most frustrated. The more you can accept it and come to terms with that, I think that we move forward. And that's why Joe and I also like design, right? Because it is the embodiment of that. Like some days you're having good days, you're rocking out the design, you're doing really good work, and then next day you hit a roadblock, and then you don't make progress on the thing for a while, and then you gotta again reset your thinking, and that's the way you move forward.
Like for me, like design, getting ideas and getting inspiration in design is not like there's no right or wrong way.
Yeah,
is always, because when we do stuff that is not design, let's say we do mathematics or we do like scientific stuff, the inspiration or that idea, there's a phase through how do you get inspiration, how do you get this and that. But in design, you actually really have to jump back and forth, get your inspiration from, sometimes it's not from what you are working on. Sometimes go out and walk around and then go to nature, you walk around, you see something, and that something might spark you.
Yeah.
Create something new. But sometimes that relationship in between the spark and the stuff that you are working on, sometimes there is no relationship. Sometimes it's totally 2 different things, but you just got that spark in your brain. Oh, you kind of it's kind of like you got light up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's how design work is all about. Like that's how design inspiration comes.
Yeah, man. Now Pedro was asking, if you just wanted to add a picture that's available on Google and some words, would you need a program for that, or explain the design to the printing company? So, generally speaking, there's actually 2 elements to this that I'll address. First one, just to answer your question, I would say yes, I would recommend having a program like Photoshop to compose the image, right? So let me see if I can show you, where did I put my t-shirt designs.
Defiant.
Did I move? I think I may have moved them to my external hard drive. Oh, no. Here we go. Let's take one of these designs. Yeah, like this guy, right? So this is a photo that I did and just threw like a logo and some detail on it, right?
Do you share the screen?
Yeah. So this is one of the ones that Joe and I were talking about doing as a t-shirt design, right? Very simple, very straightforward, big, bold, in your face kind of stuff, right? And so this composition, I could hand off to, a printer and say, okay, I want this on the chest of the shirt, or on the back of the shirt, or what have you, and that's it. So having the software to compose that is helpful, right? The other thing, though, the other part of this question that I wanted to address is you are at risk if you just use a random picture on Google, right? Because just because it's on Google does not mean that you can use it without repercussions. There's something called like royalty free, and those are images that are available without any sort of licensing or usage rights, right? So let me show you something here. If you want to use an image available on Google, right? So I just searched Formula One, right? If you go here under Tools, Usage Rights, and you search Creative Commons license, these will be images that you can use without the risk of somebody coming to you later and saying, hey, you owe me money because you used my image, right? If this is here under commercial or all other licenses, somebody, if they see your product with this image, they can come after you and take your money from you, right? Because you used it without licensing the image from them, right? It's just like me. If somebody were to take one of my designs and use them without my approval, I can sue the pants off of them because I own the design. It's my intellectual property, and photography is no different in that sense.
That's the other reason why we actually wait until this moment to wanted to create a t-shirt, because we have the ability to take photos ourselves. We have the ability to do compose and to do graphic designs ourselves. I don't know if you guys get it.
Yeah, so like that is the challenge, I would do some research into the images that you're using, right? There are some that break these rules, but they will do it in kind of like creative ways.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a way to do it, but you have to be very creative.
Yeah. So like I'm trying to think of ones that I can grab that I can show you real quick. Oh yeah, here we go. Maybe it's under, Ranger Eyes. So, for example, right, Data Crew make patches and stuff like that. So if you look here, these guys, these use Photoshop logos.
Yeah.
I mean, these are literally like what I have down in my taskbar, But what they've done is they've changed the colors and they've changed the characters a little bit, right? So everybody knows what it is, but it's not that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find another. They have some other examples, right? Like this one, Dutch Brothers, but instead they changed it to Data Bros Markets. So by tweaking things a little bit with their own approach, right? Everybody knows this gas station logo, but instead of the gas station brand, they put Data. So it has to be things like that, right? Or right, everybody knows Mobile One,
Yeah.
right? Or this one, So it's all in how you tweak it to kind of show people, yeah, here's a little tongue-in-cheek kind of like, we know what this is, but it's not that. Legally speaking, it's not that, So
that's actually the way I will do it if I am in your shoes.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to get over this, get around this.
Yeah.
But you just have to be smart and creative on your. That's where the design abilities came from. You have to be very smart on choosing what to do.
Yeah. This is a good question. You can, like, for example, with like the Family Guy stuff, like let's say it's Peter Griffin, you can distort some of his proportions, or you can kind of like change how he looks in subtle ways,
Or you can even change the way he look, but in the bigger picture, in the far away, it looks very similar to him.
Right. Now, again, you may want to do some research about this, right? Because I know, for example, Homer Simpson has been appropriated for a lot of stuff, right? Mickey Mouse has been used. Excuse me, guys. Mickey Mouse has been used in a lot of stuff. So there may be a public domain argument for that, where it's like, oh, hey, this has been in the public domain for so long that they can no longer kind of like come after you for that, Yeah, thank you, Dopey. You're correct about that being Stater Brothers. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, so look into that. Or if it's a real person, again, let's say like it's a classical painting of George Washington, right? And it's an old painting. Well, technically there's nobody who owns the license to that old painting, like the Mona Lisa, right? Like, to my knowledge, nobody owns the licensing to Mona Lisa, but that's still something I would research, just to make sure that I don't expose myself to lawsuits, because then that kind of sucks, if you go through the trouble of doing something, and then somebody comes after you for it, you know. Um, that kind of grenades your future hopes, you know. Um, but yeah, the number one answer to this would be first research. You know, how can I do this without getting sued, and then
Yeah,
go from
that's
there.
the first thing first and the most important things that you need to know first to get started. And after that, all the designs and like sketching and come up with crazy ideas is easy.
Yeah, yeah,
But you need to figure out what can and cannot do.
yeah, 100%. So, um, there isn't I hate to say it, but there's not like necessarily a one size fit all answer to that question.
Yeah, again, it's like what I was talking about. In design field, there is no right or wrong answer. You just have to figure it out yourself. You just have to figure out the best way to approach specific things that you wanted to achieve.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to see, so like perfect example, right? Like Homer Simpson has been appropriated for 1,000,001 things, you know, whether it's patches or stickers or what have you, you know. So the question is, can they do this because, you know, he's been in the public domain as a character for so long, you know, or are they just chancing it, you know? Like they're definitely not paying royalties, I'll tell you that much. Like 100% guaranteed, all of these people who are putting together these things are not paying money back to the creators of The Simpsons. Like they're just not, you know. Some of them have been licensed, like this one is most likely licensed because they have the Simpsons logo up here. But I'm willing to bet you the majority of these are not at all, you know. So you definitely you got to look into it a bit, you know. Let's see, like what about again, there are definitely people who are using the Family Guy characters, you know. Like that is definitely an iron-on patch that's using Stewie, and I guarantee you they're not paying royalties. So the question is, how are they doing it without getting in trouble? You know? Evil Monkey, same thing. So look into it. And sometimes, you know, it's as simple as finding, let's say, like this person's on Etsy, right? You know, reach out to these guys and then ask them. I mean, this one is obviously like a cheap knockoff because look how bad that looks, right? But find somebody who is doing like a good one and a recent one, and then ask them, like, hey, how do you do this without getting, you know, any legal liabilities?
Yeah.
You know, and they can give you some feedback. You know, Roadhouse. Roadhouse. Yeah, hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's the best advice that we can get to us for now.
Yeah, man, definitely. Alrighty, guys. Anybody else have any other questions? I don't want to like cut off the conversation in the live stream, because there's definitely some good stuff going on in there, Demonok, I'll definitely chat with you after the stream is done. Do be patient with me though. I do take a little while to respond sometimes. It's just because I got a lot of messages and I got a lot of work I got to do. But I do, as Joe, I always get back to people.
Yeah.
I always
wait.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, just wait.
Yeah, just be patient with me.
Yeah.
But I definitely always do, just need that time, So I will get there for sure. Oh, dude, how dope is that? Here's a great example, by the way, Pedro, of distorting a figure but still implying who it is. Kid Robot. Look at that. We know who that's supposed to be.
That's cool.
We know exactly who that's supposed to be,
Yep.
But that's definitely not from the show. Or at least not that I remember, But yeah, dude, like...
Yeah, that's a perfect example.
Or maybe it is from the show. I don't know if they licensed it, but it's definitely a distortion of the figure for sure, I do not remember that scene, thank God. I think that may have scarred me. Yeah. Sexy Rexy right there. Well, dude, let me see. Make sure. Never apologize. Never apologize for questions. We're absolutely here for that, So, definitely.
Also, asking as much questions as you can while you are designing stuff, because asking questions will actually help you.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah,
and
I learned that the hard way in school.
Yeah, no, 100%. And really, like, there are no, out and out stupid questions.
No, there's
no
stupid question.
So
any question is a good question.
Yeah. As long as you're asking a question you don't know the answer to already, we're here for it, right? But like, if you're, I don't appreciate people who ask questions when they're just trying to hear themselves talk, but that's not what's going on here by any means. Like, we all know that. Like, feel free, man. That's what we're here for. Really, like, there are no dumb ideas. There are no stupid questions. It's all about the positivity, man. All about the positivity, Yeah, there you go. Black Rifle is not wrong. Black Rifle is not wrong. And definitely never apologize, Demonok. We love you, brother. That's what the community is here for. We got your back, brother. We got your back. Don't worry one fucking bit at all, and don't apologize. We're here for you, brother. Okay, not Black Rifle Coffee Company, Black Rifle Division. All right, cool. And 100%. We definitely do. All right, guys. Joe and I are going to wind this down. We're hitting about the 2-hour mark. I need a break from talking, and I need to spend a little bit of time on COD shooting people. I need to record another YouTube video, and I need to take some photos all before the night is over. Oh my God, it's not done yet, but just for you guys who haven't seen it yet, I started the live stream with it. but the new stickers came. Check these dope guys out. These will be available soon. They are awesome. They are jokes. Absolutely hilarious.
Very.
But just remember, guys, we love you all. Keep on, designing stuff. Keep on thinking about new projects, what you can bring into the world. And we're here for you. We definitely are,
Yep.
All right, guys.
Ask questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Even though we might not know the answer, but we can help you find the answer.
We'll help you get to where you need to get, man.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for joining us again tonight. We love you. We appreciate all of you hopping into the chat. And we will see you next week. Alrighty, guys.
Bye.
Peace.